Hey, Zane Griggs here. Today I want to ask, what's your motivation for staying on a healthy diet and having an active lifestyle? Is it just fitting into your skinny jeans, looking good on the beach for summer, or do you have longer range goals like being able to be active with your grandchildren or your spouse in retirement? So are you thinking that far out? Maybe not wanting to be dependent on drugs to regulate bodily functions that you should be able to regulate on your own. Um, so those are all great goals. I think some of the short-term, skinny jean goals are really like that, short-term. They probably won't keep you on a plan for very long. It may not be the best motivation when temptation arises. But the low carb diet used to be considered something that was just like almost a fad diet, something that got people to lose weight quickly, and at the time, really didn't include a lot of, or a necessity for whole foods or avoiding processed foods. And now I think those two things come together. We have a real healthy choices and a low carb diet, lowering starches and sugars, eating whole vegetables, meats, naturally occurring fats, where we have some long-term benefits like improved insulin sensitivity, improved fat burning, lower inflammation, which helps us with having healthy LDL as opposed to oxidized LDL or VLDL, the very low density LDL that gets caught in our arteries, and reducing the risk for heart disease, stroke, cancer, Alzheimer's, of course, diabetes. I mean, the CDC is predicting by 2050 that 1 in 3 Americans will have type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3. Now, I'm sure all of those people are not really planning or do not plan to get diabetes. Those 1 in 3, that's 1/3 of our population. That's a lot of people, and they're probably not thinking about that in their 20s and 30s, and yet, that's when the plaques in our arteries really begin to form, and when insulin resistance begins to start. Diabetes is a 10-year process for most people of creation before it gets diagnosed. Before it gets to the point of being diagnosed, it's forming over usually a 10-year period. So it's all those daily choices we're making that create those lifestyle diseases. So what is your reason? Are you thinking about those things? Are you thinking about the damage you may be doing to your body that you can't see? Now, if you're overweight or obese, that's an outward symptom. That's something you can see. And it's obviously a symptom of things going on inside, like insulin resistance, impaired fat burning, and maybe some hormonal imbalances. Things going on that have an outward symptom. But just because, you may not be overweight, you may be of a healthy weight, quote unquote, you may be thin, but you could still be doing damage to your body. You still be creating plaques in your arteries and creating insulin resistance and inflammation with your food choices. So are those things you consider when you're planning what you eat or not thinking about what you eat? So please, give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. What motivates you to stay on track, even though you may not have some big, glaring symptom right now? What keeps you on track? And if you do, please share that too. If it's just playing with your grandkids, or if it's to get off your meds, or if you're thinking about 20 years from now retiring and touring Europe with your spouse, let me know. What motivates you? What keeps you on track? What helps you? What motivation is bigger than your temptation? Talk to you later.